Hey guys, I know a lot of you guys are telling me that they're hearing a rattle or something in their exhaust pipe. This one, I actually went ahead and took the pop rivets out. That's probably the toughest part about this job. And you get like this kind of a sound inside your canister. A lot of times what happens is the actual fiberglass that's wrapped around the perforated tube basically is burned up. I took this one out already, and this is all that was left in there. So it's just a real thin sheet of fiberglass, pretty much kind of burned up and no longer good. So we're going to end up putting this new ceramic type repacking. This is more ceramic than it is fiberglass, and from what I understand, it holds up about 2 to 3 times better than what fiberglass does. So that is what we're doing today. And the first thing you got to do is first take the exhaust pipe, the silencer off, and then all these stainless steel screws. You'll have a strap around it like this with the stainless screws, but you're gonna have to drill them out. And like I say, that is probably the most pain in the butt part of this whole job. So after you got that, and then getting this part out is your next toughest thing. And what I found is I had it in the canister in a vise, and with welding gloves actually wrapped around it and kind of like tightened it up. And then I took a torch, LP torch, just heated this up really nice, and get a pair of vice grips and kind of just clamp it onto this part of the exhaust pipe. And then what I did is while holding this part, I would take a hammer and tap on that the vice grips, and it actually would slide right on out of there. Before heating it up, I mean, I tried beating and beating on it, and it did not want to move. But while heating up this aluminum canister, it expanded enough to allow it to come out a lot easier. So anyways, I'm going to take and put this here, and we're going to take this off. And on the inside is this. So you actually have this kind of wrapped around it. And like I say, I already took this apart, so that was all burned up. And the other thing that kind of helps is this is flared out, so I kind of straightened it out some to make it press against this on the inside, and that is what holds it against the center of the wall that's inside the silencer, keeps it from banging back and forth. So anyways, I'm going to take and put this new stuff on, and this is the information on what I'm using today. And so I'm going to try this out on it and see if it holds up a lot better. So anyways, I got this off Amazon, pretty inexpensive, and man, you can repack quite a few mufflers with this one package. I think it was like 19 bucks. So anyways, I'm going to pause here and open it up. Alright, here it is. So what I'm going to do is open this up. Open it up this way. Oh look, special greetings. Give us a 5-star. As you can tell, that's a lot thicker than what was in there before. So what I'm going to do is take this perforated tube. We're going to take and lay that on. And so you can tell it might be easier to do it this way. Yeah. Man, just so close. I mean, that might be doable to cut it this direction. That way I can get another one there. Or take this one, cut it here. And that'll leave me see, it's a little tighter that way. So I'm going to go this direction, and we're just going to make it real nice and tight. So we'll take it and put this on, and I can make a mark in it by rolling that. Kind of gives me an idea where I got to take the scissors, cut across that line. Alright, this is easy to do with one hand. Let me set this down. And alright. So, got that cut. It was easy enough. The other thing I like about this, it doesn't have the fiberglass abilities where it pokes in your hand and makes you itch forever. So I'm going to wrap this extremely tight to where it comes around. And then what I do to hold it in place while I'm putting it back in is I use a couple of zip ties just to hold it in place, because once it's in there, it really doesn't matter about the zip ties anymore. So I'm going to pause here and get to that point. Well, after trying to get the whole 1 inch thick on there, found out that that's not going to work. So what I'm doing is separating, splitting it, and making it more like a 1/2 inch pad, and seeing how well that'll fit in there. Because yeah, 1 inch was definitely not going to fit back in there. It was too thick. So, and I believe you can order this 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch thick instead of it being 1 inch thick. So there it is. And we just made it a little bit flatter. And again, we're going to wrap it as tight as we can. Put our zip ties to hold it in place so that we can get it back in that canister. Pausing here. Alright, we're back. Alright, so that's with the zip tie on it, holding it in place, one at each end. And so it's nice and tight on there. So we're going to take and work it back in. And what's at the other end of this pipe, I don't know if you can see it, but that's what's at the end of it. Down in there. So that's what's inside the pipe. So now we're about to put it down to where it seats at the bottom. Put this here. And take and slide that back in. Kind of like I rotate it a little bit. Kind of helps go in. Work it all the way down. There we go. Then, that should be flush. Alright. Yep, pretty flush. Flush it right in the middle. The holes that are inside this, we are going to, we could do it one of two ways. One is if the holes are walled out, you can actually come in here, instead of lining the holes up, put them right in the middle, put it together, re-drill the hole into the stainless, and re-pop rivet it. So it's kind of, sometimes it's you get lucky and go straight in, and the holes line up nicely. So it's up to you on how you want to go about doing that. So I'm going to attempt to see if these holes are going to line up, because actually, let me come over here, grab a pop rivet and make sure those holes ain't too big. So what's in here is stainless steel 3/16 by 1/4 pop rivets. And so we're going to take and make sure this hole ain't too big. Okay. Alright, so that's what we got. It should fit snug. And pretty snug on that one. A little bit loose there. Yep, pretty nice and tight on that one. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to take and work on getting that back in. Pausing it here so I can get everything where I need that. Okay, so I'm going to take a chance and get these things lined up. If I was drilling it, it wouldn't be so much to worry about, but making sure these guys line up nicely as I'm putting it down. and it fits tight. So I use a no impact hammer that I picked up from Harbor Freight. So it's a dead blow. So I'm going to use that to tap this down. Work around and around, trying to get it to go down nice and even. Wow. Okay. Just try not to cut the hammer up too much. They fit tight. I'm going to get a piece of wood and see if I can do it that way first. Make it a little easier. Well, continuing, I forgot. I just put this together for putting bearings and stuff in the engine cases. And I'm thinking this press will make life easy, make it a little bit more exact. So we'll pump this down. Maybe get this tightened up. Okay. Get it all centered up. And you can see the hole there. Oh man, it looks like it's not going to be perfectly square. Yeah, I was afraid of that. So let's take it, go down. Oh yeah, man, this thing works like butter. Well, it did not go perfectly down. Dang it. So I'm going to have to take it out and do it again. Now back to what I was saying as far as putting this thing in the vise. I figured this would be a good way to show you how I did it. Put it in the vise. I got a welding glove around it, clamped down nicely. I take a pair of vise grips and I kind of clamp it on there nice and tight. And I don't know how I'm going to do this one-handed. So let's see here. Maybe you got a picture of that. So anyways, then take it off, loosen that, spin it. Do it again on this side. Yeah, it's a slow process, but you gotta work it back and forth, make it even. Yeah, when I first took it apart, I had to actually heat it up with a torch because she was stuck in there nice and tight. Now that I've had it in there once, I don't have to use a torch. And that's how you get it off there. Whew. All right. So now that we got the thing all lined up, the holes, hopefully they're going to come together as I press it down. I kind of got lucky. I got this press from Harbor Freight. My daughters actually bought it for me for Christmas one year, and it has been great taking and disassembling engines, pressing bearings, and now the exhaust. First time I've done it for the exhaust. So what we're going to do, we're going to get that down, tighten this up first here. All right, this kind of gives a nice even press. Got it lined up. Just Start the press. Oh man, this thing makes it so easy to do. So much nicer than beating on it. And right there. Nice and lined up this time. So we're going to loosen the pressure up. And we'll call that well done. And now when you shake it, no noise anymore. And so we are going to put the pop rivets back in and get that good and tight and ready for install. All right, check back with you. Well, I don't know what happened to my video. I was showing putting the pop rivets in, but yeah, for some reason it did not record. Don't know why, but anyways, there it is pretty much. Just line all your holes up, put the pop rivets back into it, and you got a solid silencer to run for quite some time before it starts getting super noisy again. So anyways, now it's just a matter of installing it back on the machine. Thanks guys, hope that helped somebody on repacking their exhaust. Have a good day. Cloud-based PPG.